Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please introduce yourself to the court, spelling your last name for the record.
My name is Officer Dale Williams, Williams.
Officer, what do you do for a living?
I'm Senior Patrol Officer for the Midland Center Police Department.
What education do you have that allows you to be a senior patrol officer?
Well, I'm a graduate of Sawyer College with a degree in criminal justice. After that, I completed the 16-week program from the Midland Law Enforcement Academy.
And how are you involved in today's case?
I was on duty the morning of August 18, 2010. I was the first responder to the call about the shooting that happened at Andy and Lee Parks home.
Officer, I want you to walk us through exactly what happened that day. Now, what is the first thing you did when you arrived at the scene?
I arrived at the Parks home at about 9:55 that morning. It was around the same time as the paramedics. Because the call was about an active shooter, it was important that I cleared the home to make sure the shooter was no longer active. So I instructed the paramedics to remain outside until that was finished.
When you walked into the Parks home, what did you see?
I walked in through the Parks living room door, front door, which led into the living room. I saw two children who were later identified as Sydney Park. She was lying on the ground with a gunshot wound to her head. The other child was Jesse Duran, who was sitting in the chair at the time.
You said Sydney Park had a gunshot wound to her head. Did you see a gun?
Not far from where Jesse Duran was located in the living room, on the floor there was a 6-shot 9mm revolver.
Once you saw this gun on the floor, how did you proceed with your investigation?
I went on to clear the home, make sure there was no one else there. After that was done, I waved the paramedics to come in to try to attend to Sydney Park. Unfortunately, they had no success. Sydney was pronounced dead at the scene of the crime.
At this point, where was Jesse Duran?
Jesse was removed from the living room and placed in the dining room under the care of two officers whom I instructed not to speak with Jesse because neither his parents or Sydney's parents had arrived at the Parks home yet.
When did the parents arrive at the scene?
The first parent to get to the house was Andy Park. She arrived at about 10 that morning. About a half hour later, Miss Hayden Duran arrived. That's when she was informed that her child Jesse was a suspect in the shooting of Sydney Park.
Why was it that Jesse Duran was being held as a suspect in the shooting?
Well, based on our investigation up to this point, Jesse and Sydney were the only two people that were in the home during the shooting. In addition to that, Jesse wrote a statement confessing to shooting Sydney Park.
I'm approaching opposing counsel with what has been previously marked as plaintiff's 4. Officer, what did I just hand you?
You just handed me the statement that Jesse wrote confessing to shooting Sydney Park.
Is that a fair and accurate copy of that statement?
It seems to be yes.
Your Honor, at this time, plaintiff moves to admit plaintiff's 4 into evidence, and pursuant to the pretrial order, all objections to this document have been waived.
So admitted.
Officer Williams, what did you learn from this note?
Well, I learned that Jesse shot Sydney Park in the head. I also learned that Jesse's mom, Hayden Duran, told her that real guns were like the guns she found in her video games.
Objection, Your Honor. To my proper opinion. May I be heard?
Amen.
This witness has testified that he learned that Hayden Duran instructed Jesse Duran that real guns were the same as video games. However, we have not heard any foundation to be sure that this statement is in fact true. And as a defense, we are contesting that this was a false confession. That was Jesse was potentially forced to write, and therefore we cannot hear this. This cannot go on the record.
Counsel, is your objection to the statement? Those objections have already been waived, or is it to the
No, Your
second
Honor.
statement?
My objection is not to the statement. My objection is to this witness's testimony that he learned that this did in fact happen.
May I be heard, Your Honor?
You bet.
I'm just asking this witness. He was in charge of collecting evidence on August 18, 2010. He saw this note right after Jesse Duran had written it, and he made subsequent arrest or booking after reading this document. It's important for the jury to know what was in this document in order to understand why Officer Williams acted the way that he did. Furthermore, Opposing counsel's objection is to weight, not admissibility. Judge Jackson has already ruled on this document, said that the objection have been waived. But opposing counsel is more than welcome to delve into this on cross-examination.
You go ahead and overrule the objection.
Yes, Your Honor.
Counselor.
Permission to approach a copy, publish a copy to the jury.
You may.
Other than the confession, did you collect any other evidence that day?
Yes. In addition to this statement written by Jesse Duran, I collected screenshots straight from Jesse's phone. Those screenshots include text message conversation between Jesse and Cindy Park, text message conversation between Jesse and his mother, Hayden Duran, as well as a internet browser history made by Jesse.
I'm approaching opposing counsel with plaintiffs 5 and 6. Officer, what have I just handed you?
Plaintiff 5 is a copy of the screenshot of the contact Voldemort found from Jesse's phone and the text message conversation between Voldemort and Jesse Duran.
And what is the second piece of evidence that I've handed you?
The second piece, 6, is a copy of the screenshot of the browser history made from Jesse's phone.
Now, referring to those text messages, who was Voldemort?
Well, if you look at the contact here, under the email section of the contact, Hayden Duran's email address is located there. After further questioning Hayden Duran about this contact, she confirmed that this is indeed her contact information.
And for the text messages and the screenshots of the search history, is it normal for you to take screenshots such as this one in a case like this?
Yes, ma'am.
And are those fair and accurate copies of those screenshots that you had taken?
They seem to be yes.
Do you have any reason to believe that these screenshots have been tampered with or are untrustworthy in any way?
No.
And when were these screenshots taken?
These were taken August 18, 2010.
Your Honor, at this time, plaintiff moves to admit plaintiffs 5 and 6 into evidence.
Objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
So admitted.
First, I would like to talk about the text messages between Hayden Duran and Jesse Duran. When were these text messages taken?
These text messages were made the morning of August 18, 2010, approximately 1 hour before Cindy Park was shot.
Now, the screenshot of the search history from Jesse Duran's phone. What did you learn from those screenshots?
Well, I learned that Jesse made 2 searches involving guns or firearms. The first was how to load a revolver. That's the same type of gun that was used in the shooting of Cindy Park. The second was the recoil of a gun, which is the kickback that a shooter feels once a firearm has been discharged.
Objection, Your Honor, to relevance. May I be heard?
You may.
Pursuant to Rule 401, relevance is any fact that makes any fact in today's case more or less likely. The plaintiff today is pursuing a charge of negligent parental supervision. What Jesse did or did not search on his cell phone makes no fact in today's case more likely or less likely because we are not contesting that he shot Cindy Park.
May I be heard, Your Honor?
You may.
Part of our burden as the plaintiff, we must prove that Jesse Duran acted in a way that posed an unreasonable risk to Cindy Park. Now, if the morning of the shooting, before Jesse Duran went to the Park home, if he was up making searches such as these, it tends to prove that it was more likely that Jesse was going to the Park's home and acted in a way that posed risk to Cindy Park. Relevance is a low bar, Your Honor. These text messages and the screenshots are relevant.
Any response, counsel?
Your Honor, we are not contesting this fact. Therefore, it is simply cumulative evidence and it does not need to be admitted in court today. We only need to hear about actions taken or not taken by Hayden Duran.
I'm going to go ahead and sustain the objection. Please move on, Counselor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, permission to strike it from the record?
Permission granted.
Thank you.
On August 18, 2010, did you find any evidence that there were any blocks or adult blockers on Jesse Duran's phone?
No, there were no blocks on Jesse's phone. I was able to go through it freely.
I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Cross-examination, Your Honor.
proceed.